Hello, everybody. This is your instructor, Jason Chapa, and today I wanted to do a meeting to cover two things. I wanted to go a bit more in depth for the commemorative or ceremonial team speech, just kind of show y'all how I would do something, maybe give y'all some little help as to what you could do to make it a little easier for you, and also go over kind of how you'd be including citations and an APA style works cited and putting that into PowerPoint using Microsoft Word. And I do give a little bit of a warning. The subject of my ceremonial team speech, which I was going through it, I was reviewing it, and it made me a little misty-eyed because I don't know about y'all, but the person who I'm going to be talking about was more important to me than I thought. But anyways, before I do that, if any of y'all have any questions or concerns, feel free to post them in the chat, or feel free to raise your hand so that I can see what so I can mute my mic and y'all can ask your question. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started because I do have another meeting after y'all that I also kind of have to prepare for my 13-11 classes. But let's start with the APA stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Microsoft Word. Let me share my screen first. I don't know why I wasn't sharing my screen. Let's see. All right, so the subject that I'm using for this is Kevin Conroy, who passed away a few years ago, unfortunately, and he was the voice of Batman in the animated series, as well as a lot of different movies, TV shows, video games, etc. Now, what I have is I've made my PowerPoint here. An important thing to note, what you'll be doing for this is it's supposed to be a manuscript speech. So I don't have the stuff I'm going to be reading off the PowerPoint. Instead, I have my notes here that I'll be reading. And I also have it's West Point Network, West Point. I also have the notes here. So ideally, what I would be doing for this is you can either present this as a video kind of going through these things, but you don't have to memorize what you're saying. I want you to have some practice in how you're going to be reading the text here. And I don't think this should go about like a minute or so, but what you'll want to be going for is a minute per slide. And the way that you'll add the video or the audio is you go to here, you can insert audio, and you can record audio here, on the insert tab, audio tab. And I'm not going to do it now, but because I think it might give me some clash since I'm recording something and I don't want to crash my computer. But if you hit that, you can kind of use that to then read your notes, or you can print out your notes, which would probably be better, and then read through it. It does take a few attempts, I think, if you want to get it perfect. So don't go with just the first time you made it through everything. Practice reading through it and then record yourself. And then once you record it, it will be able to just be added right there. I'm sure there's ways that you can do this for Google Slides as well. I've had some issues with that one. If you're going to use Google Slides, be sure that you make everything accessible. Sometimes I have to request permission for files that go with it. Make sure that anyone who has the link can witness or listen to those. But yeah, so the way that you'll organize it is I have my kind of introduction slide here, and I have what I'd be saying. So with like a title slide, feel free to have that as the way that you introduce your topic. Then what I've done is, I have the information here. I have the source kind of starting off at the beginning there, and I'll show you all the article that I got from here. I believe it was this one. So I'm not just making up the information, and I cite it in the PowerPoint too. like there. And then I would read through this. I'll record this for y'all and share it with y'all so y'all can see the finished product. And then the one thing that you're gonna have to do is you have like, you know, your bullet point slide. And then I have my slide which has a picture. And I'll kind of tie this to this is kind of a transition slide to the next one, which I will kind of go in detail with this with the one there. But again, I have the text or basically a picture from a comic that Kevin Conroy actually wrote about his life. And I have the text here that kind of elaborates on what this means. And then of course I have I'll probably enter in another picture between these two, well, between this one and this slide here, just so that I can kind of get a good transition as well. But in this slide, this is where I talk about his passing. I do cite an obituary from the New York Times, and I should put 2022 because I believe that was when he passed away. Because it said the right thing. And like I said, I am just reading through all this. I'm going to try and deliver effectively, you know, talk about, really put emphasis on how I say things for it. And then I have my conclusion slide here, in which I kind of summarize, have one more kind of interesting thing about his performances as Batman. And then I end with a quote as my memorable ending. And it's all written here. So very important to note, you're going to alternate between, you know, these are two slides are going to be how you're going to be doing things. You'll have your bullet point slide. You'll have a visual aid slide, which you can use to either elaborate on points made by the bullet points there, or you can just use that as a transition to the next idea or next thing you'll be talking about in terms of Kevin Conroy, or your subject. In this case, I talked about his background, you know, the troubles that he was going through. And then I talk about his passing here as Batman. It's right there. And at the end, I have the works cited page. And you can type this all out, but there's a very easy way to kind of build that in, and we'll take into account Microsoft Word. So if you click on from file, let's go back. References, the reference tab here, you can manage your sources. And I do have several of these from my past presentations, but I have one here that I've already added. And we'll kind of add the one from the New York Times obituary right now. This is the way that you can make works cited pages very easily. So let me click on that again. So references, hit manage sources, and hit new. And we'll go with, we'll go with website because that's what we're using. Or actually, let's try and fix something else. Yeah, let's go with website. Okay, so you have the author, which is right there. You're going to do this last name first. And you just have to put their first initial there. Now, if you didn't have an author's name, but you do have like an organization that was responsible for it, instead you can click corporate author and you could say like things like New Times there. But we don't have it, but we have an author name, so we don't need to do that. And now here's the difference between the name of the web page and the name of the website. The name of the web page would be like the title, like the article title. We'll kind of copy and paste that there. The name of the website would be New Times. And then the date would be 2022, which was 2 years ago almost. Time's really flying, unfortunately. November 11th. And then we put the website copy paste there. And so again, I delete these, but I'm going to save those because I have other things that I need to refer to for that. Now you will need 3. In fact, let me go ahead and add this one from the Gizmodo article that I cited as well. So to show y'all again how we do it, click on references, manage sources, add new, click on what type of source you're using. In this case, we're going to be Whitbrook. And the name of the page is the title of the article or the individual page yourself that you're going to be focusing on. Let's copy paste that. Name of the website is the actual, like the title of the site that you get everything from. And then here 2022, November 11, and the address would be copied. All right, so we close that and nothing happened. What do we do? Well, if you say insert citation, what do we do? What does that mean? Well, the reason why you do something like that is if when you're outlining your presentation, we'll copy paste that. Let's go back to the PowerPoint and we'll go all the way back here because all this information is from that first source. We just put it like that. So that's how you can kind of in your PowerPoint, but also in your outline when you have like, your summary of what you're talking about or the words that you're saying, that's what you can do to insert the citation. And let's go ahead and do that for all of them. Let's go ahead and copy paste that. Or you can just, let's see, where did I get that? We'll just put. Let's insert the other one because. Here we go. Okay. Brook 322. And then the Oxenden, we'll copy that. And that one will go here. So put those at the end of your kind of notes there so that you can be citing correctly in regards to the APA style. But our works cited page is still blank. And this is still blank as well. What do we do? Very simple. Make sure this is set to APA style. Click this bibliography button. And then click works cited and boom, you have your entire works cited there. And then you can just copy paste it. And that is that. You have made your works cited for the different sources you've used. Okay, I need to actually fix this top one because it did not go through all the way. There we go. Okay, and so there we have it. We have our works cited page. We have a mostly done PowerPoint, and I will show y'all how to. And I've shown y'all how to insert the audio, which is by just recording this. You can also do video. So if you have like videos you've taken, or you want to put a link to a YouTube video as well that you recorded, you can do that from here. Really though, audio might be the easiest thing to do. And if you're doing this by yourself, these kind of three main ideas, like, 1, 2, 3, and then a conclusion. So intro and conclusion, that's all you got to do. If you're doing this with a group, each group member should be contributing one bullet point slide and one image slide, as well as contributing narration to the ones they've made. All right. So that was a lot of info, and I do apologize for that. But I hope that did help a little bit as to how y'all are going to make the presentation. I haven't finished it just yet, but I will record and share that Kevin Conroy tribute ceremonial speech with y'all so y'all can see the finished product and hopefully get inspired a bit for what y'all do for yours. In addition, I showed y'all how to do the works cited and how to put the citations in both, where you would do for the outline or for information that you're citing and for a works cited page at the end of the presentation. Remember though, most important, even for this ceremonial speech and for any speech that you're doing, you want to cite your sources in the body of the presentation. So if you don't learn anything else from me this semester, please learn to cite your sources during a presentation. All right, so those were the two things I wanted to talk about, and that only went about 15 minutes. So I tried not to babble as much, try not to make as many errors. But do y'all have any questions or concerns about what we just talked about? If y'all are good, give me a thumbs up. If y'all have a question, please just raise your hand or put it in the chat. All right. So I'm not certain if we'll have more meetings or not. Let's see, hold on. Will we do the APA citation slide in the informal speech as well? You don't have to have one if you're doing PowerPoint, but make sure for you include an APA citation or works cited in the outline. That's one that you have to have for the presentation. And for the outlines for any of those speeches, send them through to me through messages so I can review them, and then I'll get back to you and tell y'all if you're doing well or where you can improve. It can be on any subject, save for a few banned ones. Those are listed in the discussion forum, but I do have to approve a subject. But aside from those banned ones, just send me a message for your topic, and I will tell you if it's a good subject, or if I'll help you brainstorm a way to improve it. But yeah, basically any subject with a few exceptions, and I have to approve it. But I think I've been nice at like basically approving most subjects I've gotten. But yeah, good questions. All right, so now the moment y'all have been waiting for. I'm gonna give y'all the secret code for bonus points. So what I want y'all to do, those of y'all who are here and those of y'all who watch the presentation in the future, I want y'all to send me a message with this secret code, so I can make sure that y'all seen it. And that secret code is going to be, I think, very appropriate to the subject matter. It's going to be Batman. If you want to really be fun, you can say, I am Batman. So Batman or I am Batman. That's going to be the secret code for bonus points. So be sure to message that to me on messages. If you're here, those of y'all who are here, send that to me. Those of y'all who watch in the future, message me that once you're done, and I will give y'all some bonus points for your speeches or your work. If you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to send them to me, and we'll go ahead and wrap up here. Thank you very much for all of y'all who attended. Thank y'all for all of y'all who watch in the future, and y'all have a great rest of the weekend because it's Easter break. So y'all enjoy that. So thank you very much.